This dime normal defensive scheme is going to allow you to have complete freedom to dominate any offense you face. Whether you want to bring the dogs and blitz them into submission, or play a wide variety of coverages on the back end to confuse your opponent and lead to some really bad balls into coverage where you can take it the other way. We will do this out of a really unique defensive alignment where we have both of our safeties down in the box, and then because we are in dime, we are going to have 6 DBs on the field, allowing us the speed and athleticism to match up with any spread pass heavy offenses you face. Now the key for this whole defense is going to be this double safety walk down blitz. Every one of our defenses in this scheme is going to have this same look where these guys walk down to linebacker depth. Now how we do this is we're always going to come out of the huddle in this double safety blitz so we can get this walk down look, but now at the line, then we can audible over to any other of our defensive calls, and these 2 safeties are going to stay in the exact same position. This is going to accomplish 2 main things. First, it is going to help our blitzes come in. Either we can bring these 2 safeties themselves, and because they start down towards the football, they can get in the backfield in a hurry and cause a ton of issues. But then also now we just have so many players up near the line that they won't know who is coming on the blitz or dropping out into coverage, allowing us even more opportunities to make plays in at the QB. Then the other big reason is this is going to disguise whether we are blitzing or playing coverage, because each one of our defensive looks is going to look identical pre-snap, and they are going to have no way of knowing what we are in. Now this video is all a part of my full 4-6 defensive scheme I'm doing out of the 4-6 playbook, and there are going to be 3 more videos along with this one. They include a intro video where I break down the personnel and abilities to use, a breakdown of the 1985 Bears that made this 4-6 defense so famous, and they have arguably the greatest defense of all time. So if you want to check out everything that is out for this defensive scheme so far, there will be a link for the playlist down in the description. Now before we even get on the field, we want to make sure we have our coaching adjustments set up like this, and I play with base align on. Then for audibles, we want to set them up to look like this. The first blitz we are looking at is the double safety blitz in our dime normal formation. Now for this play, we're going to get that double safety walk down action pre-snap, and both of these 2 safeties are going to be firing in on the blitz and can get into the backfield and cause a ton of havoc. Now this is going to be a 0-man blitz across the board, so we are going to be bringing 6 in at the QB while just having single coverage on the back end with no safety help over the top. So this blitz needs to get home and put a ton of pressure in at the QB before something gets open deeper down the field. Now to set this up, when at the line, you want to slant your D-line out and then QB contain, and your user will be your linebacker in the middle of the field, and this is the whole setup. Now this blitz is going to be rushing 6 in at the QB. If they send everyone out on routes, you're going to get at least 1 player, but a ton of the times 2 free bearing down on the QB to get you a ton of sacks. But then if they block their running back, this blitz will still come in, but there is one trick to make this work even better, and that is when they block their running back, and if you are a man coverage on the running back with your middle linebacker and he stays into block, then you actually want to engage the center for half a second, then peel back over the middle and play coverage. This will hold the center and will allow you to get better pressure in at the QB. Now here on the back end, this is obviously a 0 blitz, so it'll be 1 versus 1s across the board, but as long as your blitz get home, you won't need to cover for long, and you should be able to make some big plays in coverage. And because the pressure should be getting there so fast, this can lead to some really bad throws by the QB where you can make a play on the ball and go the other way with it. The next play we're looking at is dime blitz 3 in dime normal. This play is designed to be used when they send their running back out on a route, and we are going to get really fast edge heat in at the QB. This will have our 4 linemen rushing it at the QB, but also going to have a DB firing off the edge. And then on the back end, we have a really solid cover 3 pass defense, and this should do a great job of covering in the secondary, allowing us time for our blitz to get home. To set this up, we want to start in our double safety blitz, then audible over to our dime blitz 3 at the line. Then all we do for this setup is slant your D-line out and QB contain. Then bring your linebacker user about 1 step down in the box and go to the opposite side of the center away from the blitzing DB about 1 step as well, and that is it. This blitz should speed up the QB a ton and put a ton of pressure on him, allowing us to rack up sacks and big plays. Then this added pressure can lead them to force some really bad balls into covered players where we can make some plays on the football. Then as the user, we are on the linebacker over the middle, and we have the whole short to intermediate area of the field, but we do have safety help over the top, so we're just looking to pick up anything we see. Then for the rest of this pass defense, we should be really solid across the board without any super weak weak points. And with this blitz speeding up the QB and making him hurry his throws, then this should make this coverage even better. Now for our personnel in this dime defense, we will be running 6 DBs on the back end with our 4 main back secondary players. We will be rocking these 4 cards, and all 4 of these players are going to have these 2 abilities. The first is Deep Out KO, and this is the best ability for playing zone coverage in Madden. It will let you get knockouts on deep balls all over the field when playing zone. This can be deep along the sideline when they take shots down the field, or it can also be deep down in the middle of the field as well. The other ability we're rocking on these 4 is Deep Route KO. This is a man coverage ability, and with it now, when we are bringing our man blitzes, we can still get knockouts with these 4 players all over the field, and this is especially good on your outside corners, so they can't just throw go balls down the field when you have one-on-one man coverage. Now, if you use these 4 cards, you can get both these abilities on each of them for only 1 AP each. Then when we're in this dime defense, we're also going to be subbing in 2 extra DBs playing the nickel and dime roles, and here we're just looking for athletes who can cover down the field and are really good coverage players, but they also need to have the speed to come in on blitzes and get in the backfield and make plays. Then I break down the personnel and abilities I use on my D-line and linebackers in the intro video for this scheme. I'll leave a link for it down in the description so you can check it out if you want a breakdown of that as well. Now, our first coverage defense we're looking at is cover 4 quarters in dime normal. This is going to be our main coverage for this scheme and gives us some great options to really limit explosive plays and make big plays on the football. Now, for this play, we're going to be rushing 4 up front and then dropping 7 into coverage with a 4 deep shell with both our safeties and corners deep. But this is going to be match coverage across the board. Now, match coverage is a defense that has defenders playing zone, but they are reading receivers and they will either man up players and lock them down, or they can be free to double team and bracket players or play zone looking for work and help on anyone who comes into their area. To set this up, make sure that match coverage is turned on in your coaching adjustments. Then once again, start your double safety look, then audible over to cover 4 quarters. Then one thing you do is manually put your quarter flats into hard flats. Do not shade down. You must manually do it, but this is optional and you can leave your quarter flats out there if you like. And when I'm playing cover 4 quarters, I tend to use one of the 2 high safeties. Now this coverage is great because pre-snap it's going to look the same as our blitzes, but now we're playing this super drop coverage where we'll have people dropping out into passing lanes and it taking a ton of easy throws away from the offense. And because they see these safeties walk down in the box, they think they'll be able to push this ball down the field, but these players do an excellent job of turning their hips, getting back and taking away these shot plays, making this match defense super tough to attack. Then as the user, I like to play on one of the 2 high safeties, and if the slot player goes vertical, then it is my job to cover him down the field, step in front of the football and pick it off. Now I'm not going to go over all the rules of cover 4 quarters and how it works in this video, but I've already done a super in-depth breakdown showing you everything you need to know to run cover 4 quarters. And if you want to check that out, I will leave a link for it down in the description below. The next coverage we're looking at is cover 2 man in dime normal. Then here we're going to have a man coverage heavy option we can utilize on the back end, and this can help change up our look and throw another coverage shell at the offense, and this can lead to some really bad balls into coverage when they're expecting cover 4 quarters or a blitz look. This is going to be a 2-man under defensive shell where we're only rushing 4, and then we have man coverage across the board, and then we have 2 deep safeties over the top, shutting down the deep ball and giving us some great coverage on the back end. To set this up, call the double safety blitz, then audible over to cover 2 man at the line. And then on this play, I like to use the middle linebacker in the middle of the defense. Then I like to shade up on our coverage, and this will ensure our players on the outside play over the top and don't let deep balls go in over their head, giving our deep safeties time to get back and help. Now, as the user, you're responsible for whoever the middle linebacker is matched up with, and if they leave out on a route, then you just want to run with them and try to wipe them out of the play. But then if they stay in a block, then you are just free over the middle, and you can just help on anyone you see come open over the middle of the field. Then coverage wise, this is just really a great complement to our blitzes. The man coverage can help take away those quick hitters that have been there versus our zone blitzes, and this can lead to some bad throws where we can make some big plays. But then these deep safeties dropping out can also get into passing lanes and get underneath balls to break them up, or these safeties can get on their horse, get deep down the field, and help break up those deep bombs on the outs. Then if you want to take this offense to the next level, you need to check out my website, Scheme Kings. Up right now is part 2 of this video, where I'll give you 3 more plays out of this dime normal formation to give you a ton more options, whether it's more coverages on the back end to make plays or blitzes to come in at the QB. Then there's a ton more up on the site for this 4-6 defensive scheme to help make it a complete defense and one of the best you will use all year. Then also on the site are all my past schemes, like my NCAA spread offense and my LOB Seahawks defense, and a ton more. Then also on the site you can get access to my playbooks, which are full written breakdowns for my schemes, and with 5 out so far, with my newest being my golden era offense that is 73 pages long, and this can help take your game to the next level. So if you want to check out Scheme Kings, it will be linked down in the description below. Then for a really good user blitz, we are going to be using the play SS Blitz 3 in dime normal. This is going to be a user rush where we can get some crazy pressure looping in at the QB and create a ton of big plays in the backfield. This play is going to have only 3 rushers up front on our D line, and we will have 7 players in coverage with this cover 3 shell on the back end. Then your user will be the 4th rusher who can get into the backfield and make a play while we still have great coverage on the back end. To set this up, come out your double safety blitz, and you want to audible to the SS Blitz 3. Then you want to slant your D line out and QB contain. Then you want to take your D end on the opposite side of the blitzing safety, and you want to drop him into a vert hook, and that is the setup. Now on this play, you're going to user the safety who is blitzing, and as soon as the ball is snapped, you want to loop around the outside of the D end who should be holding up the tackle from getting out to you, and this is just a super fun way to get your user in the backfield and create chaos around the QB. Then the best part of this blitz is we're only rushing 4 players on this play, so we're going to have 7 in coverage, giving us a super solid pass D on the back end where our guys are going to make a ton of plays for us. And we're going to have a 3 rec over the middle of the field, wiping out a ton, and he is going to be super effective in this area of the field. And we're going to be dropping our backside D end into a vert hook, and he can get into passing lanes, take away some quick hitters, and even go the other way with the football. Then to make sure you are running this 4-6 defense to its full potential, you need to run the right personnel and abilities. And in the intro video for this scheme, I went over a complete breakdown over exactly which ones you should be using. And if you want to check that out, you need to watch this video right here.